in a new interview, Pink Floyd's co-founder Roger Waters sat down with CNN's Michael Smerconish to talk about the political messaging at his current This Is Not a Drill tour. This is a clip.
The Chinese are too busy encircling Taiwan as we speak. Okay?
They're not encircling Taiwan. Taiwan is part of China. And that's been absolutely accepted by the whole of the international community since 1948. And if you don't know that, you're not reading enough. Go and read about it.
Taiwan has never been part of communist China. Joining us now to discuss this absolutely riveting interview with Roger Waters is CNN political commentator and host of CNN Smerconish, Michael Smerconish. And people should go watch all 28 minutes of this discussion because, as I said, it's fascinating, it's riveting. Michael, I know you're a big Pink Floyd fan, as am I. Roger Waters has these controversial, some would say, wild views. But you engaged him on this. Go ahead.
It's not a hot mic, right? This is not a one-off that all of a sudden an entertainer has to be apologetic over. He's celebratory in his views. And there's a warning, John, when you go to the show, which I did Saturday night, and there's an announcement that he makes kind of tongue-in-cheek where he says, if you're one of these people who loves Pink Floyd but can't stand Roger's politics, then I suggest right now you F off to the bar. And there's a big roar from the crowd, and then he gets into the show. So he views going out and performing as an opportunity to play his music, but also to pull up a soapbox and to spread his political message. My point is he welcomes this kind of engagement. So there was no surprise here when we sat down that I would want to talk about things like Taiwan, things like China, Ukraine, Russia, all of which we disagreed over. But I think we were kind of like two guys in a bar having a cocktail or a beer and disagreeing about politics.
Let's play the part where you spoke about Ukraine with him.
In the current show, you've got a montage of war criminals, according to you, and a picture apparently of President Biden on the screen, and it says, just getting started. What's that all about?
President Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Well, he's fueling the fire in the Ukraine for a start. That is a huge crime. Why won't the United States of America encourage Zelensky, the president, to negotiate, obviating the need for this horrendous war that's killing?
You're blaming.
We don't know how many Ukrainians.
But you're blaming the party that got invaded. Come on, you've got it reversed.
Very interesting. He told you haven't been reading enough, or if you think certain things, maybe generally he was speaking. I just wonder what is he reading that he has some of these positions. Obviously, it's very controversial when there is use of force, when there is any nation that is involved in another war, and the U.S. is providing a lot of weapons. But what did you make of what he was saying there, that the U.S. should be urging Zelensky basically to give up land to Russia?
Right. Well, I totally disagree with his perception of the situation in Ukraine. Even if you accept that there was saber rattling on the part of NATO by coming closer to Russian borders, it doesn't excuse the bloodshed that resulted from Putin's invasion of Ukraine. I mean, to me, it's black and white. I assume that he would say the same thing. Brianna, what interests me as well about all of this is that this show is an enormous and I would think expensive production. He's in the midst of a tour of the United States right now, and yet he's seemingly unconcerned about the impact that this could have on the box office. And it remains to be seen, when the tour is over and the receipts get calculated, how did that all play? But Roger Waters doesn't seem to care. He's going to go out and play his music and spread his political message at the same time.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Chinese officials are actually retweeting a full clip of this interview, particularly that part of him remarking about China and Taiwan. Michael, it's a terrific interview. Again, people should go watch the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. See you guys.